Hey VC, how's it going? Right, okay, this is my response to the 2026 Soul and Funk vinyl tag. Questions or prompts, whatever you want to call them, set by Harvey at Spin the Black Circle. And he's done a great job. It's only 12 questions or 12 prompts. And, you know, if that's your thing, Soul and Funk, get stuck in. I say this every year, but we need more soul and funk in the VC. There aren't many people talking about soul and funk records or reggae even, you know, so the more the merrier. So if it's your thing, if you've got a bit of a passion for it, just show the records that you love and talk about them. That's all you got to do. So, right, so number one, I'll get on with it. Show your favourite soul or funk new release of 2025. Now, I can't show it because it's in a box somewhere. I'm in the process of moving, but the album's called Dancing on the Edge of the World, and it's by an artist called Brooke Coombe. It came out last January, and it's I suppose it's like a pop soul album. I've said many times before that I have a bit of an issue with modern soul records, or particularly those sort of artists that are trying to recreate that 60s sound. My feeling on that is that they're recreating it with diminishing returns, basically. So if I want to listen to a record that sounds like a 60s soul record, I will listen to a 60s soul record. This record, Dancing on the Edge of the World, got me interested because it's more of a pop feel. It feels more contemporary, more current, and yeah, great tune. So I'll go with that. So that's number one. Number two, your best used find of 2025. Now, I was lucky because I've had a really good year for finding soul and funk records, whether that be at record fairs, at local shops. And this is from a local store. I mentioned it quite a lot. Music is the answer. And this is Soul Perfection by Betty Harris. This is on the Action label. Yeah, an absolutely beautiful copy. So this came out of a hoarder's collection. A chap who passed away, his house was just jam-packed full of records. He clearly didn't play them, he just bought them just to hold on to them, and you know, he just amassed more and more records. And when he passed away, his family emptied the house, or got John to empty the house, the chap at the record shop, and this was in there. There wasn't much in the way of soul music. I basically had everything that was in there soul related, and it was all this sort of condition, and yeah, sounds fantastic. So look at that, absolutely gorgeous. So chuffed with that. Right, number three, show a soul record on 45 that wasn't a hit in your home country. Now, obviously I'm in the UK. This is a record on ABC called Love Ain't Love by Florence Ballard. Now, those of you who know a little bit about soul music will know that Florence Ballard was in the Supremes. Arguably, she had the best voice in the Supremes. She always felt that she should be the leader, but Diana Ross, you know, with her sweet pop soul voice, was always the focal point. She felt she should be out front, and she left the group in the late 60s. She went to start a solo career for ABC. Didn't work out for her, but I absolutely love this song. It's produced by Van McCoy. I think it's produced and written by Van McCoy, actually. Yeah, it's written by Van McCoy. And I often think that this has been a bit of a bridge between that 60s soul sound and 70s soul sound, because obviously Van McCoy went on to have hits on his own, songs like The Hustle, you know, that sort of pre-disco thing in the mid-70s. But obviously he was a key player in the 60s soul scene as well. But yeah, I love that. Great tune. Check it out if you don't know it. Okay, number four, show a 70s album produced by a 60s soul songwriter or artist. Now, I'm cheating a little bit here because this artist produced himself in both the 60s and the 70s. And that's Smokey Robinson. So, of course, in the 60s, he recorded with the Miracles. This is his debut solo album, just called Smokey. So, early 70s. Fantastic record, and it's cheap. You know, if you're into soul music and you don't know this, you'll get this for $5 or less. Some nice cover versions on here. Will You Love Me Tomorrow, the Goffin and King tune. Also, Never Can Say Goodbye, which Isaac Hayes did a killer version of in the early 70s. A lovely, drawn out, you know, typical Isaac Hayes funk version. But the songs that really jump out on this are the songs written by Smokey. So Just My Soul Responding is wonderful, but the pick of the bunch is A Silent Partner in a Three-Way Love Affair. And yeah, I absolutely love that record. As I say, less than a $5, you can't go wrong. Okay, number five, show a soul album from a band from your home country. Now, obviously, I'm here in the UK. I've seen a few of these responses, and the one that really jumped out at me for this question was David Atkinson's response. And he picked Soul to Soul's Club Classics Volume 1, which came out in '89. And it's so evocative of that period. Massive tunes on that record, such as Back to Life. Keep on Moving was a big hit as well. But I'm going to choose something a bit different. So I'm going to go to the early 80s, where there was a Brit funk scene in the UK. And it's quite interesting because it's soul music, but although it's taken its influence from the States, it is its own sound. And it's similar to British reggae as well. I always say this about British reggae, the fact that, you know, it's reggae, but it doesn't sound like Jamaican reggae. It's got its own thing going on. And I could have picked any of those sort of bands from that early 80s, bands such as Central Line, Lynx, Beggar and Co., even Level 42. But I've gone for Southern Freeze by Freeze, predominantly for the title track, which is still one of my favourite songs to this day. I think it's probably a top 10 over here, but absolutely wonderful stuff. Number 6, Show an Album by a Female Soul Trio. So I pulled a couple out here, but the one I'm going to go for, The Flirtations. Now, this was just a hand, but so this is mid-70s. I say it's a trio. You can see them on the back there. They're best known for the Northern Soul sides that they recorded in the 60s, such as Nothing But a Heartache, which is an absolutely killer tune. It's just a Northern Soul banger. It's wonderful. In the 70s, the sound is a lot smoother, a lot more produced. Nice records, not perfect, but nice, interesting records. So there you go. That's number 6. Okay, so best soul or funk band you've seen live. Now, I'm not going to pick Prince, who would obviously be my answer to this, but I don't know if it was this year or last year, I saw the Blackbirds play. And they're obviously like a jazz funk band. So stuff like, that's their album, Action, Flying Start by the Blackbirds there, Unfinished Business. And what was really cool, that's another one there, City Life. What was really cool, they're playing at a festival. And what I really liked about it was that they didn't just play the Blackbird stuff. They also played tunes by Donald Byrd, who obviously produced them and put them together. In particular, they chose some stuff from his Spaces and Places album, which I've got 2 copies there. But yeah, wonderful stuff. One of my favourite albums. The track that jumped out at me in particular was Falling Like Dominoes, which is one of my favourite songs as well, you know. So there you go. But that was a really good, almost unexpected treat when I saw them. Okay, number 8. You're friends with a total rock supremacist. What album or single do you play them to convert them to soul or funk? Well, I always think that with fans of rock music, they can't say no to a good guitarist. And not just a good guitarist, but an absolutely great guitarist was Prince. I'm showing the CD here because all my Prince records are boxed up. And this is obviously Purple Rain. And some of the guitar playing on this record is incredible. But if you really want to see how good Prince was, just get on YouTube. Just watch some live footage of him playing. Obviously, the famous clip is of him at the George Harrison tribute concert, is it? Or, yeah, something like that, isn't it? And they're doing While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and he comes out with Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne on the stage, and he comes out and he does a solo at the end and just steals the show. He was a brilliant guitarist, a brilliant musician. If ever I'm feeling a bit stressed at work, I take myself off somewhere just for a couple of minutes and watch clips of Prince playing bass guitar. You know, if you've never seen Prince play bass, you know, and you've got any troubles, that'll sort it all out, I promise, you know. So Prince playing bass, just get yourself on YouTube. But he was an incredible guitarist, and, you know, if you've got a friend who's really into rock music, they won't be able to deny just how good Prince was at playing rock guitar. Okay, number 9, show a soul 12-inch from the 80s or 90s. Now, this is a little bit of a cheat. I'm assuming this is from the early 80s. And I bought this yesterday, actually, from a local record shop that I went in for the first time. That was Slow Century Records in Knoll, in Solihull. And this is a track called I Want Your Love by The Investigators. It's actually a reggae version of the track by Chic, I Want Your Love. And it's a really nice sort of pop reggae version. And I say that was a bit of a cheat because all of my Soul 12s are boxed up. But that's very cool. And I'll perhaps play a clip of that in a future video. Okay, show a funk album that contains a track which lasts in excess of 8 minutes. So I've got a couple here, both by Hamilton Bohannon. I'm a massive Hamilton Bohannon fan. He was a drummer, and you can tell that when you listen to his records. All of his records have got this slightly wonky disco rhythm thing going on. Really drawn out grooves, hypnotic stuff, if I get my words out. And yeah, there's tracks on both of these which go over 8 minutes, but in truth, I could have picked any one of his albums because they've all got that extended groove thing going on. Number 11, an album that gets you into the mood for romance. Right, wow. Well, I'm going to grab a couple of records by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes because I love the vocals of Teddy Pendergrass. I could have gone for one of his solo records, a track such as Love TKO, perhaps a little bit obvious, but yeah, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Harold Melvin, of course, was the drummer in the band, Teddy Pendergrass, the vocalist. So a couple by there, you know. So, incidentally, not talking about romance, but talking about love songs in general, there are very few songwriters who write from a positive love point of view. Most love songs are written from an unrequited love or you know, sort of breakup type thing. Whereas somebody like Stevie Wonder, if you are at a wedding and you've got a wedding DJ there, the chances are you're going to hear a lot of Stevie Wonder, because tracks such as I Was Made to Love Her, For Once in My Life, Sign Still Delivered, I'm Yours, you know, the list goes on and on and on, because he was so good at writing those sort of positive love songs. And I say, to this day, you hear them everywhere, but that's just an aside. And finally, talking about Stevie Wonder, this is a natural progression here. The greatest funk or soul album of all time. I could have picked any of Stevie's early 70s records, that run of 5 albums, but I'm going to go with the final album in that run, Songs in a Key of Life. It's got so much music on it. There's something for everyone. It's an absolutely perfect record. So there you go. Well done, Harvey. Great questions. And yeah, cheers.